Finally, after the wait of more than 10 years, the successor of Ferrari LaFerrari is here, the 1200 horsepower Ferrari F80. But the question is, after 40 years of creating hypercars, will this new hybrid be a legendary? So, let's have an exclusive look at the newly revealed Ferrari F80. Before moving on to the video, do consider subscribing to our channel, as we are on to making a community of motorheads, the ultimate automotive lovers. Starting with the key highlights, the latest hypercar borrows tech from Formula 1 team and challenging it into a road-going car. The hypercar has a new hybrid V6 engine, butterfly doors and an offset passenger seat disguised by the trim to create a more driver-focused interior. It is likely to arrive in the next few years and is expected to cost upward of $4 million. Moving on to the design, I am a bit disappointed. I guess just like BMW designers, Ferrari is also ruining design language of their cars. I mean, just look at it. Feels like Lego has designed the vehicle from the sides. The side view can be a hate it or love it feel, but this beast has the impressive butterfly doors with bulging wheel arches and spine-like engine compartment. At the front, the Ferrari has a similar styling to the 12-cylinder, an imposing band across the bonnet which creates a visor between the headlights, avoiding a resemblance to a human face and instead giving the F80 a purposeful look. It also features big air curtains for better aerodynamics and drag coefficients. The body is fully made up of carbon fiber and shaped using technology borrowed from the Formula 1 team of Ferrari. Ferrari has made great efforts to make the F80 as aerodynamic as possible by adding a powered rear wing which raises to reduce downforce when needed. Ferrari's chief product development boss, Gian-Maria Fulgenzi, explains that the underbody of the new F80 is heavily inspired by the brand's F1 car, with large barge boards used to channel air below. At the front, the aggressively styled nose is dominated by a huge S-duct, which takes inspiration from the 499P and moves air over the cabin and towards the rear. The black fascia across the nose, which is similar to that of the 12-cylinder, features a small lip at the top to channel air over the top of the cabin to the rear wing easily. The active rear wing not only adjusts its height but also its angle to optimize the downforce and minimize the drag. With the help of a huge rear diffuser, the rear of the car is able to create up to 590 kg of downforce. And in total, the F80 generates up to 1000 kg of downforce at 250 km per hour, which puts it on a par with the McLaren W1 and just short of an F1 car, which generates some about 1200 kg at the same speed. Taking a look at the powerhouse of this performance. While the F80's two immediate predecessors, the Enzo and LaFerrari, used V12s, the F80's internal combustion engine is a 3.0-liter V6 with a 9200 RPM rev limit. And this is because the Formula 1, which uses V6 right now, and Ferrari sees its 120 V6 as its flagship power plant. And anyways, this isn't the V6 from your cousin's Willy Chevy Caliber Z24, so it's fast enough. With zero lag assistance from its electric turbochargers, it makes over 888 horsepower and 627 pound-feet of torque all on its own. And another 296 horsepower is delivered by a trio of the electric motors, with two on the front axle and one sandwiched between the engine and the 8-speed dual-clutch automatic transmission. But strangely, in a 4-car with 1184 horses, the 4-figure output isn't even the F80's dominant stat. I would say that the honor goes to the downforce figures, which is outlandish. 2,315 pounds of downforce at 155 miles per hour. How does a car that looks so clean and sleek generates more downforce than the big-winged mutants like the McLaren Senna and the Dodge Viper ACR? Well, that's because of the active aero, with that rear wing hoisting up and angling into the slipstream at 11 degrees in high downforce mode. And there's everything you can't see. Under the car, the carefully shaped carbon fiber floor pan and the sprawling rear diffuser. It's clinched to say that any given supercar is an F1 car with fenders. But when you see the F80's underbody by itself, mounted on the wall, it looks like it belongs to an open-wheel car. Either that or it's the molded car space of some extraterrestrial creatures that you don't want to meet. In a world of tidy overhangings, about the first 2.5 feet of the F80s is dedicated to cooling and downforce, with air channeled from under the car up over the windshield essentially. The front end is a huge wing in disguise. Ferrari's chief design officer, Fulvio Manzoni, says that he deliberately avoided the humanoid-like look of the 2 eyes and 1 mouth, imparted by the headlights and a grille in favor of something much staggering and compelling. Sci-fi is an inspiration for this car, he says. While different drive modes like hybrid, performance and qualify that are selectable via a switch on the steering wheel offer different driving levels and power. There is no pure electric mode though. Like the 296, the F80 is not a plug-in hybrid, and its 2.3 kWh battery is used to boost power and run the car for short durations in low speed settings. Speaking of the battery, Ferrari is cognizant of the finite lifespan of batteries, and it's a hard plan to address this issue. But it has a plan. With the program it's calling Ferrari Forever, the company plans to offer high voltage replacement batteries for decades to come. Already there is a replacement LaFerrari battery designed to fit the old case and specification, albeit with the newer cell technologies inside. So worry not, F80 buyers, for Ferrari won't leave you and your hires scavenging junkyards like Mad Max extras looking for cast-off high voltage cells. And this is also good news for the rest of us, who might daydream about a nice Ferrari financing deal maybe at the beginning of 2026, when Ferrari F80s, which are priced at about $3.1 million, will begin arriving in the US. The thrills of the F80's gaudy performance of 0 to 60 miles per hour arrives in a claimed 2.15 seconds, and a 124 miles per hour in just 5.75 seconds can be shared by 2 lucky humans. But Ferrari insists that there was debate over that. Essentially, on one side there was a race car romantic ideal of a single-seater, and on the other, a reality. As selfish as any of us are, we enjoy the company while driving in an outrageous car. And Ferrari's upper-class clientele is no different. So the F80 is a 2-seater. And of course, it's an unusual one, in which the driver's seat and the passenger's seat are slightly offset to each other. The passenger sits rewarded, built-in in a top padding added to the carbon top, while the driver sits forward and gets an adjustable seat. Distinctions that should effectively make the point about who paid for the car. A 6-footer fits in the passenger seat, but it's tight, while the driver's seat can accommodate a taller person, but not taller than 6 feet if there are plans to wear an helmet. The interior asymmetry is stubble, intended to place hips and shoulders on slightly different planes. But we are talking about a couple of inches, and here the cockpit is narrower by 2 inches than that of the LaFerrari. I would guess that the taller drivers could probably ask for the passenger side treatment, since the rear bulkhead is the same on both sides. The passenger side of the tub is shorter at the footbox, even though there appears to be empty space ahead of the footwell. While there is space inside for the two, the F80 has been designed to be a driver-focused. Ferrari describes the layout as a 1+ configuration. The driver sits in a red bucket seats, while the dark upholstery of the passenger seat leaves it camouflaged against the rest of the trim, so you won't notice it if you're alone. The center console is aligned towards the driver, but there is no infotainment screen in the middle to distract. The F80 features a new, smaller steering wheel, which has been flattened at the top and the bottom. In contrast to other recent Ferraris, physical buttons have been reintroduced, allowing the driver to feel where they are without taking their eyes off the road. You will also get a standard suite of safety, including features such as the cruise control, lane keep assist, and lane departure warnings to give you the perfect feel of drive and safety. Though the new design language of the interior and exterior can be love it or hate it for any Ferrari lover. But the real question for everyone is, will the V6 give the same grunt as produced by its predecessors with the V12? And this would be the most expected answer for everyone, including me. So stay tuned for updates on this. So that was the exclusive first look of the newly revealed Ferrari F80, the legendary successor to the LaFerrari and the F40. I hope you would have loved the video, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell notification to become a motorhead just like me. Until then, see you next time.